Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into something pretty big today. Uh, AI under a new president. It's making headlines, sparking debates, and we've got some fascinating insights from AI expert Matt Wolf's YouTube channel.
Things are definitely getting interesting.
Absolutely. For those who haven't met him, Matt's like that friend who's always up on the latest AI trends, explains everything in a way that's both informative and engaging.
Yeah, he's got a real knack for those aha moments. You suddenly see AI's potential in a whole new light.
Exactly. And one of the biggest ahas lately is how this recent election might impact everything. We're talking potential policy shifts, regulations, even how companies like Meta and Anthropic are positioning themselves.
It's like a chess game, each player making strategic moves.
High-stakes chess, for
Yeah.
sure. So let's start with the biggest piece on the board. President Trump saying he'll repeal Biden's AI executive order on day one. Now, this order mandated that companies developing foundation AI models, things like ChatGPT, had to notify the government share safety test results before public release.
It was about setting some ground rules, a framework for responsible AI development, balancing innovation with risk mitigation.
But the Trump administration argues these regulations are actually hindering American innovation, putting us at a disadvantage globally. They're proposing a new order focused on two key areas, boosting military AI and cutting back regulations across the board.
It's a pretty big shift in approach, from cautious oversight to full speed ahead. Some even compare it to a Manhattan Project for AI.
And then there's VP JD Vance, a strong advocate for open source AI. He's concerned about big tech shaping regulations to benefit themselves.
His worry is that smaller players, independent developers, could get squeezed out, limiting diversity of ideas and approaches.
Which is vital for innovation. And of course, there's the Elon Musk factor. His ties with President Trump, his leadership of XAI, could heavily influence AI policy.
It's hard to predict his exact priorities, but we can look at his past. He's been vocal about AI safety, ethical development, but also pushing innovation's boundaries. It'll be interesting to see how those sometimes competing priorities play out.
It's like a real-life sci-fi movie unfolding. Powerful figures, cutting-edge technologies converging at this pivotal moment.
Definitely rapid change, uncertainty, but also huge opportunity. AI's potential to solve problems, improve lives is vast, but we need to proceed cautiously, wisely.
Speaking of potential, while all this political stuff's happening, AI development isn't standing still. It's moving at warp speed with breakthroughs and innovations emerging constantly.
The pace is remarkable, underscores the need for adaptive policies, ethical frameworks that can keep up.
Let's tour some of the latest developments Matt's been highlighting. First, Runway ML's advanced camera control for AI-generated video. Imagine adjusting camera angles, panning, zooming, all with sliders, like a virtual cameraman inside your computer.
It's the level of control over the visual narrative. You're not just creating a static image, you're directing the action, shaping the story with these AI tools.
It gives filmmakers, YouTubers, anyone creating video content a whole new set of creative possibilities.
Raises interesting questions about filmmaking's future. Will this democratize the process, make professional-looking videos easier to create? Or will it blur the lines between reality and fiction even further, making it harder to know what's real?
Speaking of blurring lines, Pictory AI developed a custom face model for videos. What does that even mean? Imagine inserting your face into any video scenario, historical events, movie scenes, even dancing with your favorite celebrity.
The tech is sophisticated. It's not just swapping faces, it's capturing those subtle expressions. Eyebrows, furrowing eyes, widening lips, curving into a smile.
Mind-blowing, right?
But
But it also brings up some ethical points.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Potential for misuse is clear. Misinformation, deepfakes, eroding trust in what we see online, safeguards and public education about these dangers are crucial.
Well said. Moving on to something even more realistic, ByteDance. The company behind TikTok unveiled X-Portrait 2. It transfers your expressions and movements from a video onto a still image with amazing accuracy.
This goes way beyond simple face swapping. We're talking capturing micro movements invisible to the naked eye, tiny twitches and ticks that make up human expression.
Like animating a photograph, breathing life into a static image. Huge implications for video editing, special effects, even VR.
Makes you wonder about the future. Will we reach a point where we can't distinguish real from AI-generated? What does that mean for our sense of reality, our trust in information?
Those are some deep questions. And speaking of pushing boundaries, there's Face Poke on Hugging Face. More playful, but impressive. Lets you manipulate facial features in images by dragging points around.
Shows how AI tools are becoming user-friendly. You don't need a PhD to experiment and explore.
It's like giving everyone a digital paintbrush for faces.
And like any powerful tool, responsible use is key. The potential for mischief, for misleading or harmful content is there.
Good point. A reminder that as we marvel at these advancements, we need to be aware of the downsides. Not just cool gadgets, but tools that can shape perceptions, influence beliefs, even impact behavior.
Absolutely. It's a lot to process, but that's the AI landscape right now. Constant evolution, breathtaking possibilities, and tons of questions about what it all means for our future.
My brain's a little overloaded. We've covered so much and there's still more to explore.
Scratch the surface. But it's important to pause. Let these ideas sink in.
We've talked about political shifts, ethical concerns, mind-blowing tech. It's a lot, but crucial to engage with these issues, have these conversations.
Because AI's future is being shaped right now, and it's up to all of us to make sure it's a future we can all embrace.
Well said. We'll be back in a moment to continue exploring AI in this new era. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Hope you've had a moment to digest some of those developments because we're going even deeper into the implications.
My head's still spinning a bit, but yeah, we need to step back, think about what it all means. AI is advancing so fast, it's going to have a huge impact.
Absolutely. And as we navigate this new AI era, one crucial thing is making sure it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
So important. We can't let AI worsen existing inequalities. It has to be a force for good progress for everyone.
Exactly. We need to watch for bias in these systems. Remember, AI is trained on data, and if that data reflects our societal biases, well, those get amplified in the AI's output.
Like teaching a kid with outdated textbooks full of stereotypes,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have a balanced view of the world. Same with AI.
Right. We need to diversify the data sets used to train AI, make sure they represent a wide range of perspectives and experiences.
It's not just the data, though. It's who builds and controls these systems. If it's just a few big companies or governments, we risk AI serving their interests, not ours.
A crucial point. We need a more decentralized democratic approach to AI development. Empower individuals and communities to shape the tech that impacts them.
Like a global brainstorming session on AI, everyone gets a voice.
I love that idea. Open, inclusive dialogues involving everyone, ethicists, policymakers, researchers, the public, to guide AI in a direction that benefits all.
We can get caught up in the risks and challenges, but AI can also solve some of humanity's biggest problems.
Absolutely. AI can accelerate scientific discovery, optimize resources, personalize healthcare in ways we're just starting to imagine, like a super-powered toolbox for the world's toughest issues.
Exactly. But those benefits have to be distributed fairly. We don't want an AI-powered world where only the privileged few benefit.
Right. Like a self-driving car that only goes to fancy restaurants ignores those who can't afford it. AI needs to work for everyone, not just the elite.
Great analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So as we think about harnessing AI for good, what principles should we keep in mind?
One often overlooked is transparency. We need AI systems that are explainable, interpretable. We need to understand how they reach conclusions so we can spot biases or errors.
Because right now, it's a black box spitting out answers without showing its work. Pretty unnerving when those answers have real-world consequences.
Exactly. We need to peek inside that black box, understand the AI's logic. Otherwise, we're giving up control, blindly trusting something we don't get.
Like a doctor prescribing meds without explaining the diagnosis or side effects?
Yeah.
You want to know what you're taking and why.
Right. Exactly. We have a right to understand how these systems make decisions that affect us. Along with transparency, we need accountability. Who's responsible when AI screws up or causes harm?
Whoa, that's a tough one. Developers, users, data providers. It's like figuring out who's to blame when a robot vacuum goes crazy and rearranges your furniture.
Complex issue, definitely. We need legal frameworks, ethical guidelines to address responsibility.
And we can't ignore the big one, AI's potential for misuse. It's like giving a chainsaw to someone who's never used one. Sure, they might cut down a tree, but accidents are likely.
Indeed, we need to proactively mitigate risks of AI for malicious purposes. Autonomous weapons, mass surveillance misinformation. We need to think about these dangers and develop safeguards.
It's like we're in a sci-fi movie where the robots haven't gone rogue yet, but we got to make sure they never do. So how do we strike that balance? Harness AI's potential while guarding against the dangers.
The million-dollar question. No easy answers. But it starts with recognizing AI is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. We have to ensure its development and use are guided by human values, by ethical principles.
So it's not just about the tech itself, but how we use it. The choices we make, individuals, organizations, society as a whole.
Exactly. AI isn't some outside force acting on us. We shape its destiny and it shapes ours. It's a huge responsibility and an incredible opportunity.
How do we make the right choices, navigate this ethical landscape without getting lost?
It's ongoing, constant vigilance, critical thinking, willingness to adapt as technology evolves, open and honest dialogue, challenge assumptions, and be ready to course correct.
Like we're all on a giant AI spaceship hurtling through space. We got to work together to reach a destination that benefits everyone on board.
Powerful image highlights the need for collective action collaboration across fields and borders.
So it's not just engineers and coders, it's everyone.
Yeah.
Philosophers, artists, policymakers, everyday people, we all shape AI's future.
Precisely. As we continue exploring AI in this new era, think about your own role in this. How will you contribute to ensuring AI is a force for good? Your work, your community, your sphere of influence. How can you shape AI positively? These are questions we all need to face.
Great point. We can't just wait for others to solve it. We all have a responsibility to engage with these issues and speak up.
Absolutely. AI's future isn't set in stone. It's a story we're writing together, line by line, algorithm by algorithm. We can make it a story worth telling, one that reflects our highest hopes for humanity.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into AI under a new president.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've explored so much, the political landscape, the ethical considerations, and all those incredible AI advancements.
Yeah, it feels like we traveled to the future and back. But I'm actually more excited than ever about what AI can do.
That's the spirit. We talked about the risks and challenges, but AI can truly change the world for the better.
Exactly. So let's shift gears a bit and think about the future. Where will AI make the biggest impact in the next few years?
Well, one area with immense potential is personalized medicine. Imagine treatments tailored to your genes. AI helping doctors diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately. Robots assisting in surgery with superhuman precision.
Wow. It's like having a team of AI experts working 24/7 to optimize your health.
Precisely. And it goes beyond healthcare. AI will revolutionize things like transportation, education, entertainment, almost every part of our lives.
Think about it. Self-driving cars that make traffic a breeze, personalized learning that adapts to each student, immersive virtual worlds that blur reality and imagination.
It's mind-blowing, and as AI keeps evolving, we'll see even more groundbreaking applications, things we can't even imagine today.
It's like we're at the edge of a new frontier, and AI is the key.
I like that. But as we explore and innovate, we have to do it responsibly.
You've really emphasized ethics throughout our deep dive. It's clearly crucial as we move forward.
Absolutely. We need to develop and use AI in a way that matches our values, promotes fairness, transparency, and accountability.
We've talked about bias, the risks of misuse, the importance of open discussions about these challenges.
And those conversations have to keep going as the tech evolves. It's an ongoing process, requires vigilance, critical thinking, and being willing to adapt.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
The future of AI isn't predetermined. It's a story we're writing together, line by line, algorithm by algorithm. We have the power to shape this technology, to make sure it helps humanity create a better world.
That's a powerful message, one we should all remember. So as you go about your day, think about how you can play a part in shaping the future of AI. Be curious, stay informed, and join those important conversations. Because the future is calling, and it runs on AI.
And remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create.
That's all the time we have for today. But this is just the beginning of the AI revolution, and we'll be here to guide you every step of the way. So until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.